Today we're going to be doing an upper body workout. We're going to be doing a combination of both body weight exercises and exercises that are going to require your dumbbells. So go ahead and grab a pair of medium to heavy size dumbbells for today's workout, just depending on how intense you want it to be. And let's go ahead and get started with a little warm up. So first we're going to go ahead and do inchworms. So stand with the feet hips width apart, walk all the way out. So with this, we are helping to activate our core. We're also helping to get some blood flow through our shoulder blades, our upper body, and getting us prepared for this upper body workout. Because you might be saying, why am I stretching out my hamstrings to do upper body? Well, again, inchworms are great for activating the core, also helping to stabilize the rotator cuff muscles. And it's gonna get your heart rate up and the blood flowing. One more. Okay, then we're gonna stay here. We're gonna do some plank rotations. So rotate, look up at the sky. We're gonna do 10 total. Make sure that your shoulders are moving with your hips, like a barrel rolling from side to side. So make sure everything's moving as one unit. Okay, and then we're gonna press up into a downward facing dog. Come back to start. We're gonna do 3, 4, we're gonna do 5 of these total. All right, and then let's go do some cat-cows. So we're gonna start in this position, round the spine, look down, and then extend the spine, look up. Again, just trying to get some more mobility here through the spine. Get some more mobility. Good, okay? And then let's do a few bird dogs. Fully extend that arm and leg. Again, just working on our core here, working on some stability. All of this will translate into us having a better upper body workout. And to just fix some imbalances, get the blood flowing. And stop. All right, so first move, before we get too tired, we're gonna go ahead and do push-ups. So let's do 8. Again, if you can't do full push-ups on the ground, feel free to do an incline push-up using a stable surface. Again, I am a much bigger fan of doing incline push-ups than doing alternative push-ups on your knees, but if you must, go ahead. So we're gonna do 8. Make sure that you're looking up when you're doing your push-ups. Man, that is such a struggle from when we did our push-up challenge back in January. I was able to really crank out some push-ups, and now they're much harder because I haven't been practicing. So you noticed in that transition I hit my dumbbells, so make sure that your dumbbells are off to the side. We're gonna do a few dips. So you're gonna be in this crab position. You can either have your hands facing behind you or to the side, whatever feels more comfortable to you. I'm actually gonna have them, mine are gonna be a little bit turned out. And we're gonna extend one leg, bend your elbows so that your booty touches the floor, and then switch. We're gonna do 12 total. Those didn't feel amazing on my wrist, so I'm gonna actually try a different position, but again, see what works for you. We're gonna flip back over for another set of those push-ups. We're gonna do 8 more. One more for good measure, because I'm not sure if I counted right. Okay, and then back into this crab position. I'm gonna try shooting my hands straight back. See if that feels better on my wrist. Nope. We're gonna do hands facing forward. Yeah, that feels better to me. There we go. Sometimes we have to do some experiments on our body. 2 more. Woo. Okay. That hand position, I don't know about you, I felt it way more in my triceps, and like everything opened up more, a lot more burning everywhere. So that's fun to note. We're gonna take a little pause break here, and then we're gonna go into doing our push-ups. If you're like me and your wrists are a little, just go ahead and roll them out. There is nothing wrong with it. It's just that sometimes if we're not used to putting that pressure in through our hands, our wrists just start to lose a little bit of mobility, and so they feel a little stiff, and it might be a little difficult to kind of push through some of these exercises. But again, with more practice, we'll be able to get more mobility through our wrists, and it will feel better doing these type of movements. Okay. Animal flow is also another really great way to strengthen the wrist and get a little bit more of that mobility. Okay, last set of push-ups. Okay, and back to dips. I'm not ready. Make sure to keep that butt up nice and high. We're engaging our core to do so. Two more. Tough. Okay, awesome. My knee was cracking. That was interesting. Okay, so next we are gonna lay on our back. We're gonna do chest flies and overhead extensions. So I'm gonna grab my dumbbells, push them up so that they're just in front of my chest, and then I'm gonna open up nice and wide like I'm trying to hug a beach ball, and then bring them back together. Again, aim to have them come back to the center of your body at the same time together. You want each hand, each arm to be mimicking one another. So whatever's happening on the left side should also be happening on the right side. I'm gonna do 12 because these are kind of light for me. And stop. Last week I tried to do the same exercise and I got cute and got the 15, and normally they would be fine, but last week I was so sore and I was just like, could not get through it with those 15s. So we went back to the 10s today. Okay, so we're gonna do an overhead extension. So I'm gonna hold in this diamond shape like this, extend over my head, keeping my rib cage down and my lower back in contact with the mat. And we're gonna do 12, because again, this is a pretty light dumbbell for me. I probably could have done those 15 this week, but last week it was just not happening. And that happens. Sometimes our bodies feel stronger from week to week. Sometimes it's a good sign that you need a deload week. Okay, excellent. So we're gonna lower this down. I don't need much of a rest break because again, this isn't super heavy for me, but if you wanna go ahead and pause and take like a 30-second to 1 minute break, feel free. I'm gonna grab my other dumbbell and start back with chest flies. Pay attention to what's happening in your lower body. Nothing should be moving other than your arms. If something else is moving, it's a compensation, sign that maybe your core isn't super strong or something's going on to where you feel like you need assistance from other muscles in your body besides just your arm and chest to get this movement done. So just take note of that. If anything is happening, look at your knees, notice if they're doing this, or if you're arching at their back or anything like that. Set this down. Rest it on your belly. That was just me being lazy. checking my heart rate. So having a heart rate monitor is really, really helpful because it can let you know kind of what intensity level you're at. You know, if your heart rate's like under 100, then you probably should get heavier weights because you're not really up there in intensity. My heart rate right now is at 111, which is fine. If it's really high, like up in the 150s or like 140 and above, then it's probably a little too intense and you should take a larger rest break. Let's do our last set. Open up. Last set of overhead extension. So I would really recommend not doing this workout with anything lighter than 8 pounds. If you're using like a 5-pound weight or below, it's really just not enough weight to be effective in increasing your overall muscle mass in your chest and your back. Yeah, you'll be getting a little bit stronger, but most objects that you pick up around your house are gonna be more than 5 pounds. So just keep that in mind. If you're lifting with too light of weights, again, you are definitely helping with your endurance. You're helping to retain any muscles that you have, but you're not really gonna help to improve your strength significantly or to increase your muscle mass just because the weights are too light. Now again, if you're trying to do more endurance-based exercises with those lighter weights, you're gonna have to do a lot more reps than what we do together. I usually stop around 12. If you've got really, really light weights, you're looking to be doing things of like 20, 30 reps or more, sort of like what you do in a ballet or bar class. And again, those are great workouts. You definitely are developing strength, but more in a strength endurance type of way. So it really just depends on your goal. Okay, so now we're gonna flip over. We're gonna do a few more exercises for the backs and shoulders. Actually, before we flip, we're actually gonna do shoulder press. So let's get into the half kneeling position. So I'm gonna have you be here, and we're just gonna press up, alternating one at a time. Two more. Sorry, I should have told you we're doing 20 total. Now, okay, with shoulder presses, shoulders tend to be a little bit more weak, so 5 pounds might feel medium or heavy to you, so that's fine, but definitely, again, those chest and back exercises, we are a lot stronger in those muscle groups, so you are gonna wanna be using, 8 pounds, 10, 15, maybe even 20 pounds for those larger muscle groups. So now I wanna try to do reverse fly. Oh yeah, cool, we can do this in a kneeling position. So you're just gonna kneel and do a reverse fly, keep the neck neutral. Squeeze those shoulder blades together in the back. Nice, slow and controlled. We're gonna do 2 more. Okay, good. Again, those rear flies, again, we're using smaller muscles in our back, but they're really the back of your shoulders, so you might feel it in your back area, but it's more of your rear delts, the back of your shoulders. So again, a little bit smaller muscle group than when we're talking about the rhomboids or lats or those trap muscles, those larger. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to the shoulder press. We're doing 20 total. Make sure that as you press up, you're keeping the rib cage down. You're also not arching at your lower back. Keep looking forward. Pretend like you're trying to punch through the ceiling. Also pay attention to your half kneeling position. Make sure that your ankle is stacked directly underneath your knee. Also that your foot isn't caving in or out. I'm losing my balance. Squeeze your butt if that happens. Okay. Now we're gonna do our reverse flies. So again, just checking to make sure that my half kneeling position is correct. So toe tucked, ankle lined up with the knee, so not in or too far out. Again, ankle right underneath the kneecap, and I'm just resting my chest here on my thigh, extending, squeeze the shoulder blades together in the back, neck neutral. So not looking up, not looking down. down and relax. If you want to switch half kneeling positions, that is wise. So typically whatever leg has more of the imbalances is the one that's in front. But again, you probably don't know that. So since you haven't done an assessment, most likely, let's just switch legs to be sure. So again, gonna make sure that the foot isn't cutting in. That's a compensation. We're going too far out. You want ankle, knee, and hip in the same plane. Also, don't dump into the hip. Make sure you're in a good position. Tuck the belly button in and the hips down. So pretend like your hips are a bucket of water. You don't want that water falling out the back or the front. You want nice neutral. So let's go ahead and pick up the weights. Again, try to maintain this position by squeezing your glutes. And we're gonna do our presses. If you fall over, that's totally normal. Just reset yourself. One more. Good, and let's forward fold into this position for rear flies. And 10. Okay, set these down. We're gonna lie prone on our stomach. So again, if you do have lighter weights, 1 or 2 pounds, this is a good time to use them. I do not have lighter weights, and these are way too heavy, so I'm gonna push them to the side. So first we're gonna do thumbs up, raise. We're gonna do 10 total. I'm gonna back up. So just thumbs up, raise up. For eyes, neck neutral. Good. If you want to have like a towel or something, so that you can rest your forehead on it, that's fine. The next move we're gonna do are pull downs. So it'll look like this. So progression would be to lift the feet up like this. Regression, keep the feet down. If you have a band to pull, you can use a band as well. Okay, and relax. We're just gonna do 2 sets of those because for me, it's really hard for me to keep the correct position. If you feel like you can get 3 sets of those in, perfect. I just try to not overwork my upper traps just because I have trouble getting in the best position for those. So I'm gonna do 2 sets, feel free to do 3. So we're gonna go back to those eyes. Again, thumbs up. We're doing 10 total. If you can do more, do 12 or 15, go for it. And relax. And then we're gonna go back to the pulls. I'm gonna go ahead and move my feet this time for that progressed version. Okay, and relax. So now I'm just gonna go into a little baby cobra here just to relieve some tension that I had both in my abs and in my back. Then I'm gonna rock back into child's pose position. Gonna make sure there's no wardrobe malfunctions. 3, 1. And thread the needle. Other side, feel free to hold that stretch longer if you want. This side is much tighter for me, so I'm gonna hold it a little longer. Awesome. All right, well, we are all finished. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys for the next workout.